Hey folks, JD here, and today we are looking at the unboxing of this. This is the Hexacopter JJRC H20 or H20. Basically, this is a brand new looking copter for us. Instead of the standard quadcopter, 4 propellers, this is a hexacopter. So hexacopter, 6 propellers. Alright, so let's open her up and have a quick little look on the inside and see what we've got. So we've got ourselves a pretty standard transmitter here. So there's one. Let's just move the box out of the way. So there's the all-important quadcopter there, and then we have got the standard USB charger and little instruction manual there as well, but I'll leave the instruction manual out of this demonstration. Okay, so let's have a quick little look. So let's have a little look at this quadcopter. So this is pretty funky. I'm really looking forward to piloting this. So as you can see, it has 2 white blades and 4 black blades. So the white blades denote this is the front. Okay, so when you're flying it, I don't know if you can see, if I can try and turn on, you might be able to see that there's a little LED if there's any battery life in it whatsoever. No, nothing. No, nothing at all. Okay, so there's a little light here as well, a little LED right in the front in kind of a wide V shape. So that also denotes the front as well. And then likewise the back, you have a standard small tiny little battery just fitted into the underneath with a singular cable that just unplugs direct from there. And then in order to charge, all you would do is you would plug this little cable into the charger, wait for the 45-minute to 50-minute charging time, plug it back in, and then you have a little hexacopter that will fly about. So a couple of features about this. One, the main feature about this hexacopter is it is made by JJRC. So you're not just buying a little nano copter, you're buying one that is extremely stable. Because I've flown a JJRC Nano before, and it is unlike any other nano copter. I've never flown a Hex though, so that's going to be quite interesting. So yeah, JJRC, known for build quality, stability, speed, but not too fast, not so that you don't lose control of it. Likewise, as I was saying, Hex 6 blades. You don't get any replacement blades with this, or at least I haven't. I just have exactly what you see in front of you here as far as the quadcopter transmitter and charger goes. So this is going to be really fun to take out. Now if you've never ever flown a nanocopter before, what I will say is you have to be extremely careful, even more so than what you would normally be with a standard quadcopter or a bigger hexacopter, in so much that the slightest breeze will take this. This weighs nothing. A piece of paper weighs more. So well, yeah, you have definitely got to be 100% careful when you do take it out. Slightest bit of wind, I definitely would not. You can be careful, and if you are very careful, you can fly it inside a house. Now, I have done that once, and my dog went mental, and I haven't flown it inside ever again. But if you are careful, you can fly them quite successfully inside. What I would say is don't fly them anywhere where there's a fish tank or anything where the quadcopter can fall behind, because you'll never get it back. So yeah, be extremely careful when you do fly it indoor or out. But I definitely would say to fly it outside, you have to have a completely still day. So the appeal of the hexacopter is obviously you have more blades than the quad, giving it a lot more stability and a lot more movability as well. So whereas normally you would have with the quadcopter, you would just have the forward, back, left and right motions. The same you have with the hexacopter, but it does it a little bit nicer. It's not so much of a jarred movement. It's more of a flowing movement, which is extremely necessary with the nanocopters, because a lot of them are so small, they're so quick that as soon as you put a little bit of throttle on them, that's it, they're gone. And yeah, I've lost no end of the Cheerson CX-10s I think I've lost about 4 in total, just because I've gone, right, okay, this is a nice open area, I'm away from everything, up goes the throttle, up, and there goes the quadcopter. So yeah, be very careful when you fly it. So let's move the quadcopter, the hexcopter, force a habit there, to one side, and let's have a little look at this transmitter. So the transmitter with this is pretty standard. As you would have noticed from a quick little look at the hexcopter, there is no camera. Nothing can be fitted to the bottom of this or to the top of it, as needs to be it needs to continue to be light, and it needs to have its balance. If you add anything to this, it's going to push it off balance, and it's just going to, well, it's going to break, as it's not going to be able to fly correctly at all. So you're not going to find any video or photo buttons on this controller. Likewise, this hexcopter does not have altitude hold, as you can see, because this left throttle button moves on its own accord and doesn't snap back into place like it would when you would have an altitude hold copter. So a couple of things to look at. You've got your trim buttons. You've got your left and right and up and down trim. Here, those two, and these two here as well. Your on and off button, pretty standard. There's a couple of these. I think this is pretty much the standard model for most nanocopters, is this particular transmitter. And I've had a little look at this transmitter. I've compared it to a couple of other nanocopters, and this one does seem a little bit more sturdy. I don't know if that's just me, because the quadcopter is actually made by by JJRC, not a third party, but it does to me feel very, very, very very sturdy, and if you are to drop it, I get a good feeling that it wouldn't smash. So yeah, so there we have it. The on and off button on the bottom, trim controls, a little LED. Once you put the batteries in, and once the transmitter is on, little LED would just light up red there as well. You've got the shoulder buttons, but from what I can tell, they don't really do anything at all. Likewise, with your throttle, you've got a little clicker, so you can push it down once, twice, and 3 times. This alters the speed. So when you start off, you're going to be on normal mode, which is slow. Click it once, you're going to be on mode 2, which is a little bit faster, and click it 3 times, and before you know it, you're going to be back to the future. So be very careful and make sure you don't click this unduly. So there we have it, folks. This is just your standard USB cable as well for charging the battery. One more thing to mention. There isn't a chargeable option for this transmitter, so you have to use 2 AA batteries. So this transmitter doesn't charge. Likewise, if you are to charge it, you'd have to take the batteries out, plug them into a third-party charger, and then plug them back into the transmitter whenever you wanted to fly. So there we have it, folks. That has been the unboxing of the JJRC H20. This is a lovely little hexcopter. So please join me in a couple of days when we're going to take this thing out. We're going to fly it no end, and we're going to see exactly what it is made of. Alright then, folks. Well, thanks very much for watching and listening. Until next time, I've been JD. You've been fantastic. Don't forget to subscribe so you stay up to date with all of my upcoming videos and everything else on the channel as well. So until next time, folks, happy flying.